60 Minutes to Six Figures, where we hang out with you on the second Monday of every month. We so enjoy bringing you this free online training that you can take advantage of at any time, because today's session will be recorded, so you can go back and take the valuable nuggets out of it as we spend an hour doing something we have never done before. We are actually taking an agent through the coaching process live. So anything can happen. And of course, while we're online, anything can happen with technical difficulties as well. So definitely stay with us. If for some reason you lose us, we will probably pop right back up. But when I was in Huntsville last weekend, I was asking for a volunteer. I was at my friend Jim Hokenschneider's awesome office in Huntsville, Legend Realty, and I said, I want a volunteer to go through this process. And the cutest, most energetic agent sitting on the front row said, please, please, pick me. And of course, you can see her on here. Her name is Rachel Henderson, and she is our special guest today. So welcome, Rachel.
Hi.
And I want to introduce, of course, our friend Matt, who leads these interviews for us and helps keep me straight. Lord knows he works hard. It's a tough job.
Well, I don't know about that. It's a tough but enjoyable job, I guess. So we did have some tough technical difficulties. So if we drop off for any reason, the replay is being recorded. We'll have that available, and also we'll pop back on pretty quickly. But one of the reasons we do these live over Google Hangouts is so that right here on the Google Plus page, you can type in any question you like. You can type it in as a comment on the page, or you can use the Q&A app, and you just click on that little Q&A button. You can type in your question, submit it. Either way, I'll see it. I'll bring it to the gals, and you can get your questions answered live.
Thanks, Matt. And make sure if you do have a question, this is your chance to get it answered. This is all brand new for us, sharing this kind of information in our process with you. And today we're focused on really figuring out what makes Rachel stand out and what makes her so beautiful and different and special, so that she can formulate her marketing message so that she can hit the right target audience that matches her really well. And by watching her go through this process today, I'm hoping that you'll be able to see how you can easily implement it into your business as well. And just because Rachel is a real estate agent, this process can benefit any small business owner. There is a way that your top qualities will start evolving, and you'll see patterns that start coming to light, and we can really take that and formulate that into the message that the world needs to know about you and what makes you different. So today's going to be a whole lot of fun. Are you ready for this, Rachel?
I hope so. I'm nervous.
Okay, so I do have to share with you that whenever Rachel and I were talking about it, she was like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I've only sold one house. And that's okay, right? You're brand new, and everybody has to start somewhere. And there are still things that make you special and different, no matter what kind of experience you have. And sometimes having like an enthusiasm and a newness to what you're doing can outweigh and be more attractive than somebody who's had 20 or 30 years experience. So a lot of times that can end up working in your favor and being a benefit to you. So the first place that we normally start when we start this whole process is I sent to you the link, and did get it back to you, and I'm so sorry I spelled your name wrong yesterday. So you didn't get it yesterday and you had to do it on the spot, is a DISC assessment. And this at least helps me get started in the process, knowing a little bit more about who you are as a person, and being able to see how you process information, because that alone makes you unique, right?
Yes.
So you have not seen the results. I haven't sent them to you. Is it okay if we go over that first?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and I'm going to have to be looking down on my paper a little bit, so don't think I'm not, paying attention to you. Uh, yeah, I hear Matt laughing at me. Okay, so naturally, you have a whole lot of people personality. You are a people person. You get energized from social activities, and I can, in the class last week, I could tell that you're not shy. You, you enjoy interacting and being a part of group discussions. You're comfortable in that arena, so it's easy for you to meet friends, and I would say that your database is probably one that would have a lot of people in it. We talked about Facebook for a little bit, and you even mentioned that you had over 900 friends on Facebook. That would be something that's very natural to your profile, which is great for real estate because you can't meet enough friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Great for what you do. Now, what you have also decided, though, as you have adapted into your professional life, is you have really gotten a lot of drive now. That wasn't natural. So you are eager, based on what I'm saying, you are eager to make a difference and make a mark in your business. Does that sound like you?
Yes, I'm excited. I don't have a lot of experience, but I'm ready to hit the ground running. I want to get started and, really turn this into something, great.
Okay, so would you say that you're eager and maybe you're just not sure what to do yet?
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of it. I'm really excited. I got my license. I just don't really know how to start. I know that we talked a lot about our database, and I figured that's probably the first place to really dig in. But the house that I sold was from a referral from a friend, and so just really trying to figure out how to, jumpstart everything.
Well, one of the things too that I want to share with everybody is that you got your license, and then immediately, tell us what happened.
I had a baby. Yes. Yeah, I got my license, I guess a month or so later. I had my first listing. I put it on the market. 2 days later, my water broke. 8 days later, we're signing the contract post-baby. So.
Right. Your broker also made a comment that's true to the profile that I'm seeing here. He said that you had just gotten home from the hospital and you were in the office, writing up your offer.
Yeah. He yelled at me. He was like, "What are you doing? Go home."
And some of the things that make you stand out is that's a strong work ethic. That not even giving birth is going to hold you back. So I want you to kind of be thinking about and remembering these things as we go through it. Your strong drive, your strong work ethic. These are things that sellers particularly really want to hear. A buyer, not so much. A seller wants to hear the language that you're going to work all the time for them, that their needs, that you have a high sense of urgency to get, their property sold. So all of that's going to work in your favor. Another thing that makes you special is you have a baby. So I am a huge fan, and this is a sound, Matt, I know you're going to appreciate this, and I shared with this with you already at the class. Exploit the children. It's the only thing that you have in your favor, and every person on the planet loves babies, and they love puppies. You want to use what you have. You may not have a whole lot of experience, but you have a mouth to feed, and that mouth is adorable. You want to, and you don't have the personality profile that would, hold you back from doing this. You kind of want to share, your love of your child with lots of people. It's not a private thing for you, right? Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're not crossing boundaries with who you are authentically as a person.
Yeah.
So that would lead to postcards, postings. This sweet face said to make sure to hire my mom to list a house, or those kind of things, because people will be interested in that.
Okay.
They will want to rally around and help you. Do you know who needs a new tutu? My sweet baby. or needs a new pair of shoes, needs whatever, and you just keep showing that sweet face.
Okay.
Same for those of you who have grandchildren that you're so proud of, that if you don't do it too much and overdo it, but do it in the right way, it can be very tasteful and it will definitely work on your behalf. I know that we have successfully converted business for one of the agents that's been in the program for a couple of years, and when she had a newborn, I said, exploit that baby. And she did, and people were just sending her leads left and right. And it works. So that's definitely something that you'll
that's a good idea.
end up doing. How are you right now with childcare?
That is something that we're working on. My mother-in-law has been helping, and so that's one thing. Right now we got to work. I want to be able to work as much as I can, part-time. My husband's home by 4, so I have all the evenings, I have the weekends and everything, and then a couple of days here and there. But I do, soon want to transition to full-time and, go into the daycare. So.
Okay. Because you can meet so many people at Mother's Day outs, you can meet so many people and building your database with through daycare and meeting the other moms that are there.
Okay.
Another great tool for you is to use the mom with a newborn and maybe create a private Facebook group for that.
Okay.
And it be, name some of the neighborhoods that you would like to work in Huntsville.
Well, I live in Harvest, so I would definitely want to, I would love to be able to work a lot in my area, in the Harvest-Madison area, primarily, and then, I'll work any area. Getting started, that won't let that tie me down. So, but ideally, if I could, farm and just definitely target a certain area, it would be the Harvest-Madison market, because it's just growing so much right now.
Okay, so tell me about some of the houses that are there.
Well, that's one thing that's so versatile. I can go, 10 minutes out of one side of my neighborhood, and I'm in, $100 to $150, $175,000 to $500,000 market. So it's very versatile, because Madison, it's growing in all areas. It's really getting big.
It is. Okay, so are there a lot of maybe homes that first-time home buyers have bought and now they're expanding to families and they need to sell and move up?
Yes, I could see that, absolutely.
Okay, so I want you to really kind of figure out what neighborhoods those are.
Okay.
Where, somebody in the same position that may have one child already and are ready to have a second and probably have outgrown their space. Or maybe they want a bigger yard for their children. Or maybe they're in a townhome now and they need just some extra space. Be thinking about those types of neighborhoods.
Okay.
So that you can, if you start a farming campaign, you can have that. Now, the other thing is I touched lightly on the private Facebook group. And you could say, mothers with newborns. And it could be in Madison, mothers in Madison with newborns.
Okay.
And it's not where you sell. You don't sell in this group. You are providing information and a sense of community for people to be able to come together, and they'll start taking over the content of the group so that you don't have to work so hard. Once you get a certain amount of people in there, then you can kind of sprinkle in open houses here and there, but make sure that the ones that you sprinkle in would be one of those that I just talked about as far as in the neighborhood where it would be interesting for them to come.
Okay.
And then you could specialize your open houses. All this stuff is free, by the way. You like free?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting started, I love free.
Okay. We're trying to make it all very uniquely geared toward who you are.
Yeah.
And where you are right now in this stage. So whether you have to go and borrow some listings from your friends at the office that may have some of these, those are the kind of things you want to do. And then you can theme some of your open houses even, it could be a coupon cutting party, open house. You know what, we're going to save you so much money in your overall household expenses. So that you can afford this new mortgage. And I'm going to show you how to do that while we're here. Okay, so ideas like that that would really interest these people. You could talk about, we're going to have at this open house, several different daycares come by, and they can highlight what they have to offer, or Mother's Day Out programs and what they have to offer. This is how I want you to be thinking, very, very targeted, because these people will forgive you for bringing your child on showings.
Yeah.
They will welcome it. They will be so happy that they can bring their child and that it's okay, and you won't have any issue of feeling unprofessional or thinking that you're being unprofessional.
Yeah, that's big.
I can tell you that I sold over 60 houses a year, and I had 2 car seats, and I was determined those babies were coming everywhere with me, and they did, and I would say, you hold this baby while I write the offer. My clients were okay with that. Yeah. And yours will be too, because it mattered mostly to them, about me taking care of them. And that's definitely what I did when I was selling. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So that it can be done.
Absolutely, it can.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to find excuses. I want you to find solutions to eliminate every excuse that you have, because it's probably something that you've planted in your own head that people will not appreciate or like, or the obstacles that you've created. Because for the most part, as long as you do a great job and provide a service to people, that they're gonna give your name out, they're gonna want to do more business with you. So. Let's go into, tell me in the past, what was your last job that you had?
Well, just before this, I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield doing insurance, and I hated it. I sat at a desk, and I took phone calls. It was an inbound call center, and I drove me crazy. But before that, I did sales I worked at car dealerships, and I ran internet and phone sales. So I was face-to-face with people. I made appointments, got customers in. I monitored their progress through the selling process with salespeople, and I loved it. But the hours were just a lot. I mean, in dealerships, you can work 70 hours a week, and that's the norm. So getting married and the baby and all of that, starting to plan my family, and the hours were just too much. But I missed that. So when I went into a desk job with this, it was driving me crazy. So that's where this came. It was kind of a combination of, of all of, loving the people and the selling and the, the relationship building part of that, but needing something a little bit more flexible when the need arose,
Okay. So tell me how you're spending your days now that you are basically your own boss.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I have been slacking in the last little while because I had the baby, and I've been in this baby love bubble for the past month or two, and so now I've looked up from that, and she's almost 4 months old, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to get to work. This baby is getting expensive. So
I'm talking about exploit the baby.
Yeah. So yeah, I need to, so now, I was very motivated and very serious, and then I had the baby, and I got a little distracted, and so now I really want to just wide open, really figure out how to jumpstart everything, and we're going into kind of a slower season, but I don't want that to slow me down. So.
Okay, the one thing that I want you to get out of your vocabulary, if it's okay, is we're going into a slower season, because many, many times December can be your best month, because you can use it as a sense of urgency. Just think about when you're talking about, if you're using, feelings and emotions when you're selling something, that, don't you want to spend Christmas in your new house? I mean, why wait until New Year's to start the experience of living here? Don't you want to give your family that gift and of being around the Christmas tree in their new house? You also have tax issues. You also have people relocating that are going to be coming in. They want to make decisions quickly. December can be one of your best months, but you have to say that it's going to be one of your best months.
Yeah, and that's just coming from overhearing that, which is but what do I know about the business? I mean, I've sold my one house, so picking that up.
You know tons about the business, but
you mean you shouldn't listen to agents that are hanging around the office? I don't understand.
That's right. Matt knows. He works with agents all across the country. And I can tell you this, that that is the best secret ever. When people start saying it slows down, what they're saying is they are slowing down.
Okay.
And they are looking for a rationale. They're looking for that information to back them up, so they start saying that the market is slowing down. Sure, there can be fewer sales, but it doesn't have to be fewer for you. And it really just depends on what it is that you want. If you want it to slow down, because there are agents that purposely make their business slow down. They don't follow up as much during the holidays, and they want to spend some time with, their family, or ramping up for next year, or just kind of taking a break. And that's completely fine. What's wonderful about this, when I asked you about what does your schedule look like now, that you're your own boss, is you can determine that.
Yeah.
It really sounds to me, though, that it's you want to ramp up more than you do slow down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So keep that language going. First-time home buyers will buy any time of the year because they have to. And that never slows down. There are always going to be people having babies. There are always going to be people getting married. I don't care what the market is doing. Houses will sell. And you just have to make sure that you find those people and that you're the one helping them. And with your personality, you love to meet new people, right?
Yes, all about it.
Okay, and you love the relationship even in your old job. So I'm seeing some patterns here. Not only does your profile say that you like to meet a lot of people, you're also, your last job, what you liked about your last job was bringing people in, having those conversations on the phone, and having those personal appointments. So I would say that to get the most out of your schedule, since you do have issues with childcare, is being able to take your baby with you and see people in groups. So open houses are going to be a great thing for you if you do it the right way. Okay. Make sure that you have that targeted value there, a little bit more than just the house. Targeted value of what they can get, kind of like an offer. Not only will you get to see this amazing house, but you also get, how to be able to afford a move up.
Okay.
Because I can tell you, any person that's pregnant with their first or second baby, any mother, is they're already thinking they've outgrown the space. They're already thinking that they need an SUV, right? They're thinking all these things, not for themselves, but to be able to provide for their kids.
Okay.
So you kind of want to be able to show them how to make that happen. All right, so what do you find the most fun in real estate?
Back to the people, the relationships. I love being able to just go around and hear, different things and be able. I also like to be moving, and that's one thing. I like to be able to meet someone and take them and show them and really kind of make everyone get so excited. And you kind of when buying a house, it's a fun thing. And I just love that part of the new relationship and meeting people and being able to just live in that fun space with them and be able to go show them and really truly help make them happy. I think that's, I enjoy that. I enjoy,
Okay, is there anything that, and I know we're talking about one here,
right.
Is there anything that you feel like you're bringing to the experience?
Well, I do think the energy, that's one thing, and that's something I wanted to ask you about that I think you can help with. I think some people see my youth, because I'm a little bit younger than a lot of my peers, is sometimes people will see that as a negative, but I really think that's a positive thing. I know I did sell one house, but I sold it quickly. My seller walked away from it happy. He was my number one priority. He had all my focus and all my time and all my energy, and I think that I bring some confidence to that, to the situation with, just, making sure that he knew he was the priority. And then also, being energetic and being able to, market things online, being fluent in technology, so I think that my youth kind of helps in those areas and being excited, being fun.
Well, yeah, energy is huge because people want to be around energetic people. Unless you are attracting investors, they don't really care. But that's not going to be fun for you, I don't think. I think that it's all about the relationship and the family and the emotional part of it. So Did you get a testimonial from your seller?
No, but I can.
All right. You want to get his input, and you want to get is he single or is he
Yeah,
married?
yeah. Yeah, he's one of my husband's friends, and he is single now. He was living here, and he transitioned to Nashville, where he got he took a promotion and took it with a new company. And so he was working there and living in an apartment while maintaining his mortgage on his house. And so he finally, sold that. So now he's just living it up in downtown Nashville.
Good. Well, that sounds like
But,
fun.
yeah.
Ask him if he wouldn't mind doing a really quick video for you about his experience, and if you would just remind him that it sold in 8 days,
Okay.
and remind him what the statistics were, so that he'll add, some of those into what he's saying.
Okay.
The video works well because that's going to keep you relevant with current technology.
Okay.
You can also transfer things that he says into print. So tell him if he has a hot photo of himself to send it right over and
Yeah.
plastered everywhere for him.
Yeah.
Hey, we're coming up on the kind of the halfway mark of the session here. So Jenny, I wanted to give you a chance to mention the free call that you're hosting that you wanted to tell people about.
Yes, thank you, Matt. See, he takes care of me and keeps me on track. Okay, so today we're kind of going through this process with Rachel and just making sure that you can see how we're pulling things out for her and being able to implement, and things that fit her authentically that she can commit to. Well, we're going to be digging deep on a 1.5-hour free teleseminar, and it's called, and I've got to read it, so my eyes are going to drift over here, but it is the 9 steps to cut through the clutter, stand out, and dominate your market. And these are things that are going to be very specific that you can do when you call in that day. All you have to do is go now to register. It's absolutely free, and the call is going to be on Monday the 23rd, November 23rd, which is the week of Thanksgiving. So people should start be going out of town, and you can kind of focus in for just this 1.5 hour. You can register now at youruniqueedge.com. And again, it's free. This just lets us know to send you the link and the phone numbers so that you can participate on that group training. Thanks, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
He's so good to me. All right, so as we go back to really talking about, standing out, see, we've got several things right here. You're not afraid to meet people in masses, and if you can continue to meet people in groups, like for you, a housewarming party would make sense. The next time that you did, you worked with a buyer and you help a buyer, then you ask them if you can host a housewarming party, because that's your scene. Your social, you can probably work the room, build strong relationships with. In a housewarming party, you can normally expect maybe 10 couples to come. Sometimes there's way more, but you can handle getting the invites out, and you want to make sure that you ask them in plenty of time to say, hey, in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, why don't we have a housewarming party? It's something I always love to do to host for my clients. And some will want to register and give you where they registered, and some will say, oh, please tell no gifts, right? You're going to get a different feel for that.
Okay.
But you can personally meet all of these people, and right, you're leveraging the most of your time by meeting as many people at one time.
Okay.
So open houses for you. Make sure you use a lot of directional signs. Jan, you should be on this call. I know you registered, but you could be crazy busy. So, see what she's doing with her directional signs. She's got them out everywhere, and you heard the comment in class the other day that people are really telling her, hey, I see your signs everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do for an open house, to make sure that you have a ton of people there. It's 2 weeks of prep work.
Okay.
Not just, hey, I think I'm going to hold this open on Sunday.
Okay.
And I can send you the checklist for that, so that you can follow that.
Okay.
What is something in real estate or about your business that you found that you don't like at all?
Mm, I don't know. That's a hard question. So far, I guess maybe if I had a lot more experience, I would be able to have some negatives. So far, I haven't had any, but I had the one sale and I really loved it. I guess I'm sure there's going to be tough situations that you'll have to come up against, dealing with things. I hear all kinds of stories about things at closings and lots of stuff like that. I haven't really had any negative experience yet.
Okay, so here's a negative that I'm just pulling out of the air.
Okay.
Um, do you have any pendings?
No.
Okay, so there's a negative,
Yeah.
right? It's where to find the next piece of business.
Okay.
And do you struggle with that? Do you struggle with the idea of that?
Yeah, that's I guess that's one negative thing that I'm bad about if I don't not if I'm not completely fluent or I don't completely understand it, I kind of shy away a little bit, if that makes sense. So it's not necessarily knowing exactly. If I have a plan all day, give me a plan, I will execute it to the letter. But sometimes I get a little, so that's one thing, and that's why I was excited about this, because being able to get started. I keep saying I want to get started, but I don't really know the best way to formulate a plan to do that. Like I've been working on my database. I have all my contacts. I'm working on a spreadsheet and stuff, and I'm wondering what's the best way to start. Do I make a video and send it to everyone? Do I, like, hey friends, this is what I'm doing. Send me referrals. Like how, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, you can't let them know enough that you're in real estate.
Okay.
And so structure of what to do each day sounds like it might be a little struggle for you.
Mhm.
Before, where you were just like enjoying and dominating the car sales and working the internet leads and bringing those people in, you knew what you had to get done every day, and you probably followed a structure.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so people with your profile need more structure to follow, because otherwise you get overwhelmed. So I would map out a calendar that you have for the whole week from Monday through Friday, and I would put, when you're going to work and what you're going to actually get done that day for you to be able to get new business, because don't worry about anything else right now except finding new people to work with.
Okay.
That needs to be your only goal every day is
Okay.
get hired, get hired. And you know how in class we talked about having those new client appointments?
Uh-huh.
So on Monday, the structure could be, hey, I did this quick video and sent it out to everybody, and I'm looking for one new client appointment.
Okay.
If you need money quickly, and I'm not saying you do, I'm just saying if that is a priority, then you want to look for that first-time home buyer.
Okay.
That's the quickest way to being able to get to a closing.
Okay.
So you want that message whenever you send that out, because once you find out what your unique edge is, and it's formulating, right? It's evolving as we go through this process. But you want that message to be very clear to people on how they can help you. So whenever you send out your video, you want to say, this is what I need help with today. Yes,
Okay.
my license, and include your baby in there if you want.
Okay.
Make it fun and personal and something that somebody wants to watch.
Okay.
And also make it short,
Okay.
because people have no patience these days. So, and you want to be really clear. I'm looking for someone, kind of like how Jim said the other day, I'm looking for someone who may have just gotten married, may have just graduated from college, may have just moved into the area, that's living in an apartment or renting right now, and wants to buy their first home in Madison. Okay. Really clear. And then people can start formulating who that is in their head to be able to send you, and also be clear, how can they get in contact with you?
Okay.
So right now, if tons of people have a referral to send to you, what phone number can they reach you at?
256-424-2572.
Okay.
Okay.
What we already know is that she's going to make your referral a priority, because she has a history of doing that. She's going to be focused on accomplishing the goal for the client. She has a very strong drive to do that, and it's going to be a very, very personal experience because that's important to her, and high energy. So these people are going to have a fun time working with Rachel. So now, I mean, does that sound like you?
Yeah, it is. I'm excited. Yeah.
So you can take those things and start formulating that message. Now, let's talk about who is your ideal client that you want to work with. We touched on kind of like a niche that would be very forgiving on, you know, you bringing the baby to work, you bringing babies to showings, but tell me what you think would be ideal for you to work with.
Well, I mean, I guess, no, I mean, before we talked about people my age, millennials, people, you know, I think that that's a good niche because, you know, I guess the month I got my license, I know 3 people that bought a house, you know, right before I got my license. They were all starting families or getting married or, you know, just graduating college, and they're, you know, 1 year into that new job, and they've been renting and realized that they're going to save money by buying instead, you know, stuff like that. So I really think that's a good niche, and I think that those people would embrace my youth like I think that, you know, I think that they wouldn't see that as a downplay because they're my age. Make sense?
Absolutely, it makes sense to be where they are.
Okay.
Okay, so we talked about tiny bit in class about being on Instagram, right? Because a lot of that age group is going to be on Instagram, so you've got to be providing photos that keep you in their memory of you being an agent.
Okay.
And whether it's whether you need to, you know, take your sweet baby with you and start previewing neighborhoods and put photos out of different things that you've seen,
Okay.
And asking, you know, people to join, and taking a look at those things. You've got to be in front of them. They cannot forget you.
Okay.
You can't let them forget that you can help them.
Okay.
Whenever I got my license, I was 25, and I was very pregnant. Like, it was scary looking. And I ended up selling 18 houses, that was from May to December.
Wow.
And, you know, giving birth, staying at home for a few weeks, and then I said, this is for the birds. Kid, you're coming with me, car seat, and we just tore it up. So don't let the youth scare you. You will build trust with people. You just have to get in front of enough people.
Okay.
Enough people. They will trust your enthusiasm. They will trust your energy, and your sincerity whenever you bring that value to the table.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Anybody you don't want to work with?
I mean, right now I want to work with everyone, but I guess, I mean, not really, not that I can think of.
Okay. Do you want to work? I want to narrow down on that message. Okay, you were very excited about working with millennials, but that's a huge market.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be my daughter all the way up to, what, a 30-year-old?
Yeah.
So that's Matt. You have to be on Hangouts to
yeah.
Matt. But it's a huge, very broad market, and I know that I know how excited and eager you are when you just get your license and you're like, I want to help everybody. I'll go anywhere. I'll go to 8 counties. I will do and you will. And I know that you're being honest when you say that. But you don't let people see what makes you special.
Okay.
Okay, you have to have a very targeted, you know what, I specialize in helping millennials make the transition into homeownership.
Okay.
Because if that's what you want to target, I can also tell you that some of the millennials don't like being called a millennial.
Yeah.
So you may want to say, I help these people, or you might want to really target in on, you know, where they're buying and focus on the neighborhood and say I specialize in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay. The message has got to be really clear so people will go, that's what Rachel stands for.
Okay.
Not only is she fun and energetic and she's focused and she's driven to make sure that, you know, she takes care of my goals, but she also specializes in the exact thing that I want.
Okay.
Find that first home in this neighborhood where all my friends are living,
Okay.
right? You see where that value is coming in,
Yeah.
and then you're sprinkling out information about that area, whether it be restaurants, whether it be fun stuff to do, whether it be and then go to meet those business owners as well.
Okay.
This is a lot of stuff I'm throwing at you, but I really want you to get clear on where to get started.
Okay.
Because if you kind of want to work with millennials, then you don't want to be working with people who are moving down.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to be working probably with people who are moving up after the second time. You're probably not ready for that luxury market yet. Probably a confidence factor of not being, ready to work that luxury market. What I do love, and it's highly unusual, what I do love is that your first sale was a listing.
Yeah.
Most people start with buyers. So congratulations to you for starting with listings. And did you do a just sold card around that house?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So that is something that can show credibility, the 8 days,
Yeah.
and you want to get his testimonial. You want to tag him in it. You want to send that out to that neighborhood. You want to put that on Instagram. You see where I'm going with it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So are you feeling like this is helping you?
Yeah,
sir?
I really am. Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely I learned I need to be more specific in what I'm wanting. Target the mom thing. That's good. Helpful.
That way all your research and everything that you do is very targeted instead of being overwhelmed. That'll shut you down.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you'll be like, oh, all I did today was play with baby.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's absolutely, because I'm like, oh, I have all these plans, and then I'm like, well, where do I start? Well, I'm just going to worry about this tomorrow. So, yeah, so you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, so make sure that you calendar in today about 20 minutes to, get the rest of your week structured.
Okay.
What are you going to do Tuesday through Friday? Whether it be postings, whether it be you need to go out and preview, plan it all out so that you don't have to think tomorrow when you wake up.
Yeah.
That's what holds us back.
Yeah.
If you have to go, gosh, I would be so good if somebody just called me.
Yeah. Yeah. If a deal just fell in my lap, wouldn't that be so nice?
But you can make it fall in your lap.
Yeah.
By doing these things. Okay, I'm not going to give you any more ideas because idea overload. What I want you to see is that the energy, the drive, all of that those are your unique edge.
Okay.
Youthfulness is your unique edge. We only have that a short time in our lives. So use that as a benefit. And, I was selling investors' property when I was 25 years old. And it's all in how you present yourself and know your stuff. It's nothing to do with age and the number. If you'll look at Ashton Gustafson, who is one of the most successful agents in the country, he looks like he's about 12. And he does. And he laughs about it. I mean, he tells people, I know, I look like a kid. And he does, but it does not hold him back at all. And it's not going to hold you back either. I mean, you're a mother.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't let any of that get in your head and mess you up. So kind of the language you want to start using as well is that sense of urgency of getting into your new home before the end of the year.
Okay.
You want to be excited and use your excitement and enthusiasm when you make your phone calls, because after you do your video, okay, that was your idea. I'm taking that and saying, yeah, that works. Let's make sure you send that out to everybody. And how many people do you think you'd be sending that to?
Well, in my database that I'm working on, especially with emails, I probably have 700 contacts in there.
Okay.
So that's a lot.
Those are high eyes. If you were an S, you would say, I've got a ton, like 45. So 700 is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have phone numbers associated with that?
I probably have phone numbers for about 40% of it.
Okay, so you want to focus on that 40%,
Okay.
and you want to schedule in on your calendar phone calls to each one of them.
Okay.
And you need a personal phone call. You remember I was telling you the times last week in class, the best time to reach people between 8 and 9 and 4 and 5 because they'll answer your call while they're at work. It's true.
Yeah.
And ask that clear question. Hey, did you see my video? How are you doing? I'm looking for this first-time home buyer.
Okay.
And clear.
Okay.
And you can even just say, I don't know if you even realize I just sold this one house. You can bring that into your scripting as well, so that you've got that piece of credibility.
Okay.
It sold in 8 days. Now what I'm looking for is this first-time home buyer that, I can really help move in before the end of the year.
Okay.
I'd appreciate any help, finding one or many.
Okay. Okay.
Calendar that in so right, how many calls a day that you're going to make, etc. after you get your video out.
Okay.
Okay. Does all of that make sense?
Yeah, I have a plan now. I feel better with a plan.
Good. And you kind of like really dissected, what it is that is going to help you stand out. The average real estate agent is 51 years old. That's why you're going to stand out automatically because of how young you are and where you are in the stage that you are in life. So use it and use that to connect also with other people. And you'll see results immediately. And don't forget to follow up.
Yeah.
High Eyes are, and you are a DI, and they're not the best at following up. So you want to make sure that you, don't call just once and ask a question. Call back. Call back if you hear interest. Don't forget about the maybes and the probablys.
Okay.
Definitely go after the yeses.
Yeah.
But don't forget about the other two.
Okay.
All right. I want to invite you again, if you've been learning through this process on, maybe things that help you stand out in your business, to join us on Monday, November 23rd for a 1.5 hour call where we're kind of digging deep for you, where it is the 9 steps to cut through the clutter, to stand out, and to really dominate your market. You can go to Your Unique Edge and register for that. It's absolutely free, and it is Monday, November 23rd. So I hope that you'll join us for that as well. Do you have any questions, Rachel, about anything that we talked about or anything from me that you want to make sure that you get?
And we really touched on it. The big things I wanted to ask was about the youth and about touching my database, sending something out. So I think that's really. I think you've touched on all of it. I kind of threw it out there as you were going along. I wish I could just keep you and put you in my pocket and take you around with me.
Well, you can.
Yeah. I just always get so motivated when I talk to him, like, oh, let me just go run and do all these things.
That's funny. We did get a funny comment too. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Rita Strauss Maples, who says, "Thank goodness age isn't an issue." #1954.
I love Rita.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's extremely youthful. Extremely youthful. But you've got this new thing going on, Rita, with these grandbabies, you're telling me about. So that's fun too. And I'm going to see you this week, so we'll come up with some good stuff for you, Rita.
All right, so for anybody that didn't catch it, it's youruniqueedge.com. Got to make sure that you go there, sign up, absolutely free. So hopefully a lot of people take advantage of that. Jenny, as always, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Matt. You make everything more fun.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to start putting all this stuff in action.
Okay, so here's my, the only thing I ask of you is that you tell me what works and you tell me what didn't work.
Okay.
I like to always check in, and I appreciate you kind of letting me know where you are and where you're going with things. You
Okay.
can't do all of this in a day. Don't put that pressure on yourself.
Okay.
Figure out by building that schedule for the rest of the week what the first thing is that you're going to do.
Okay.
And it'll all fall into place.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much, and thanks, Matt, for facilitating.
No problem at all. Hey, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Just join us next month for the next episode of 60 Minutes to Six Figures. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks.